Hello YouTube, this is an alcohol review of Old Monk Rum. Saw the bottle. As some of you may know, my background is in advertising and all that kind of stuff. And packaging is part of advertising, and this is just outstanding. This first thing I saw, I took it from all the other bottles, was the stained glass type, broken glass look. I'm like, this already I gotta try. And I know some people hide crappy product in a great box, and some people put great product in a plain box. There has to be a meeting, a center point for the two. But to grab the eye, draw them in, then they try it, then they like it, word of mouth, so forth and so on. So yeah, this is Old Monk Rum, and packaging is phenomenal. According to the label, this is Old Monk, very old vatted. It is 750 mils, which I was surprised at the small bottle. Distilled and bottled in, where are you? India. Also something I did not expect. Let's see what else. Alcohol, 40% volume. 7 years blended. Now when it comes to whiskeys, I believe same with bourbons, the idea is that if you take the label and it says 7 years blended, that means of all the different types of bourbons that were placed into your bottle, one of them is 7 years. If you have 7 years on the label, one of them has to be 7 years. And it doesn't have to be the dominant one. It could be just, all these are 4 years and 3 years, and they took a tablespoon of a 7 and they put it in there. 7 years. It falls under the rules, if I understand it correctly. Rum is such a wild and crazy beast. There are multiple styles of rums. Many of them have rules and regulations that no one pays attention to. So what you think is a certain style that you like, just actually maybe that certain company's way of making the rum, not necessarily a legal measure. Where, say, when it comes to say bourbons, they do when we use fresh American white oak charred barrels, by law they have to. So rum is still, in my opinion, the Wild Wild West. And rules and regulations may be there, they may not be there, they may be applied, they may not be applied. It's everywhere. Alright. Imported Old Monk 3X rum, which this is Old Monk. Very old, vatted 3X, which I don't know why they're calling it 3X. Usually X means 10, and they put the X on the bottle, which means 10 year. This is not 30-year-old. I said at best it's 7, which is pretty good. And that's 7-year blended. This is the largest selling brand, winner of gold medals and the Mode World Selection since 1982. I remember 1982. That's not the end of it. And Ronald Reagan, who, like many presidents I've seen, seemed really cool at the time, and then when you look back at him, you're like, he wasn't such a cool guy after all. Where was my brain at that time? All right. Cool bottle. Beat up Canadian. Poor thing. It is a screw-on cap. They tried to, the next thing to make it look like it's not. Cap separate. So there's your thing. No cork. Warning number 1. Some sort of stopper. Now, the last time I've seen something like this, it was for bar use. So you can control the amount of liquid, and the rate of liquid is pouring out. So your bartender can't overpour. They can underpour, but they can't overpour easily without noticing it's a controlled flow. You're not just going to choke out of the door. A lot of times you'll see it looks like a weird cork that they stick in. That's a long stem that comes out. This is kind of the manufacturer's makeshift version of that. So right there, it says to me that this should be mixed, not drunk straight. Just give them a warning label. Just one real quick look to see if there's anything on here. India, 750. Yeah, so, right. So, yeah, that was a flag. Flag is that should this be in cocktails, should be drunk straight, that sort of thing. Another flag, and they don't have it on this bottle, is usually somewhere on the label they talk about put in your favorite cocktail, but they don't really mention drinking it straight. That to me is a flag saying, hey, this stuff is crap. You have to hide it in a cocktail. See, that's a nice controlled pour. I get it, but to me it's a sign that this needs to go into a cocktail, not in a sipping or a sipper. It is dark cherry, molasses brown, black in there, with some hints of yellow hues all through it. Really, really dark. Reasons why this would be really dark without not really knowing. Should have done my research. If you get a rum that's like a golden color, usually the rums start off as a typical rule of thumb, not in concrete, but typically, if it's a clear to a yellow, that's their white rum. Then you get this gold, and the gold gets kind of darker. That's your spiced rums, because you threw in cinnamon and other things to colors as well as flavors. When you start getting something, here we go, this dark, sometimes it's from what they call blackstrap. Now, there's nothing saying blackstrap on this, so I cannot say this is blackstrap. But lots of times, not all, but lots, if it is this dark, it comes off what's called blackstrap. Blackstrap is, I'll get a glare there. Blackstrap is the bottom of the sugar. When they process to make other rums, you end up kind of working your way through the cooking process, and the sludge in the bottom that you normally would throw out is called blackstrap. Sometimes they make rum out of it. I'm not saying this is blackstrap. I am saying its color is very indicative if it was blackstrap. And it's also not saying that it isn't blackstrap. So, there you go. But to me, it's a nice, beautiful color. So there you go with that. Has a very, very light nose. Almost nothing there. But there is a bit of a alcohol bite to the back of the nostrils. You can tell there's alcohol in it, but it's not coming through with the nose. Yeah, there's almost nothing there. But you can sense there's something is. So with that done, it is heavy with flavor. Lots of times when you get something heavy with flavorings, there are layers and they peel off as time goes. This hits you with one solid flavor and it stays that way and slowly fades out, but at the same intensity. It's just like they're just turning the volume down. It's not like it's getting any different in shades, if that makes any sense. It wants to bite you. It wants to be on fire. It can. This, as you can tell, I took a few nips out of it. When I first tried it, when it bit with small teeth, but it still bit. When it burned with small flames. It still burned. The rest of the flavors came in bright and glorious, but there was such a background of that alcohol, that near toothless alcohol, but it had its own flavor that it came in almost as a near second wave, near almost on top of the first one. So it was very tasty and very bad. It's very good flavors and very bad flavors, all nearly mushed into one, all sliding across the palate, and then just kind of fading off very slowly. And it made it difficult to say whether this is very good or not. I threw it in my cocktail, as per a little pouring thing inadvertently recommended to me, and it was delicious in a cocktail. Absolutely wonderful. Now that I've had this, I let it sit for a little bit. As I'm doing my description, it's sitting and breathing. A lot of those negatives fading out really quick. It still hits you with a wall of flavor. Charred, burnt alcohol, that ethanol, like rubber tire taste. That's all there. There's a lot of burnt fruit involved. Where in the nose, when it had a nose, there was much brighter smells to it. So it's pretty. The flavor is as dark and as heavy as its coloring. The mouthfeel, on the other hand, is a medium to light mouthfeel. So yeah, lots of strong, heavy flavor, not a whole lot of oily, not a whole lot of syrupy. So it went from non-sipper to just a cocktail, to a cocktail and a sipper. I would recommend ice on this. Usually I don't recommend ice because ice is like the enemy of flavor. Long story behind it. I see the video's getting long, so we won't put that in. But yeah, I would add ice to this just to help lighten it up. Maybe a little bit of water. Back to cocktail all over again. Just because it's that heavy on the flavor notes. Almost to the point of... But I myself like heavy flavors. I like Merlots. I like, a good strong coffee. And this fits in that lineup. It's not winning any awards for me, but it's a lot better than it was when I first tried it and went, I'm not so sure about this. So clearly, give it time to breathe. It improves with those fragile minutes before you start sipping on it. You still will get a wall of heavy brick flavor upside the head. Don't worry about losing that. You're not. So there you go. This is Old Monk Rum, 7-year blended. Any comments about this video product? Now, will be warmly accepted as always, or better yet, go out, buy it, try it, and go into the YouTube spirits community, if there was such a creature, which I'm hoping there will be sometime, and let us know your opinions on this stuff. Is this worth the price? At the time of shooting, like I said, I'm in the middle of the Empire. It was about $25 American. So, you know, is it worth that for you when you try it? And you won't know till you try it. Like I said, I'm just some dude in the middle of nowhere listening to lawnmowers. So go give it a try, see what you think. And like I said, if you like the strong flavors, definitely worth giving it an attempt. Until next time, keep on drinking.